All right, so first up in news this week, the Wrath of the Lich King beta is supposedly July or August, according to an interview with Holly Longdale. This interview was, I don't know, 6 days ago or so, and they said they were 2 to 3 months out. Now, I immediately said, they're just trying, like, it's going to come out sooner. They're just trying to, like, hedge their bets and make sure they don't, say it's coming out and then not. Because just a few days after, the login screen has showed up in the content delivery network. So it looks like it might be sooner than 2 to 3 months. What do you guys think?
I think it's definitely going to come sooner than that. I would probably lean towards 2 months. I think 2 months sounds like a good time, probably like 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. But I know that my boy Scotty is really thinking that when Holly said 2 to 3 months, he's thinking that she actually misspoke and that it's 2 to 3 weeks. And that she meant to say, yeah, I mean, talk about tinfoil hat and flat earthers. But yeah, so we'll
my man Scotty.
I don't know.
Wait, he's saying 2 to 3 weeks from now?
Yeah.
There's no way. Why would they? I mean, Sunwell is going to be very difficult. And I think that we all have to realize that people are not going to want to spend forever in Sunwell, right? Because the gear doesn't necessarily transfer well to, I mean, it allows you to, what am I thinking? Quest, right? Like, but you're going to replace everything that you get in Sunwell, right? And for the amount of effort that it is, some people are going to be like, yeah, I don't know how long I want to do this. But I do think that they have to give people enough time to experience the content and to enjoy the content. And if you say 2 to 3 weeks from right now that this is going to come out, people are just going to give up and they're going to be like, nope, no thanks.
Well, but at the same time, you have to think about, if a beta does come out in 2 to 3 weeks from now, it won't be everybody. It will only be content creators and friends and family. So it'll be a very small start to the beta. So it wouldn't pull the vast majority of people out. So
I think I was distracted and didn't hear you say beta. I thought you meant like release, and I was like, "This is just insane."
Oh wow!
Like I was like so confused.
Classic
I think
malaria.
beta in 2 weeks is like, no, that's way too soon.
It is too soon though. Like even the beta, like okay, I thought you guys were on a whole different, like, ignorant level where I was like, guys, what are we even talking about here? Like, I talked to Scotty J and I feel like he was much more like on.
You were like, where is Yip to like get these people in line? What is going on?
Thank God. But even the beta, like, people are very focused on Sunwell right now. And that's what is good for WoW right now, right? You want to release the beta when people are kind of like, okay, like I either can't do this or I can't, or I'm done and I'm annoyed with this. Like I want to move on to the next level. Like that's when you want to release the beta. I don't understand why they would release it early or wait 6 months to release it, right?
You know, one thing that I think about is, so when there was this private server that came out kind of recently, and they released PTR testing for Sunwell the same day. And it was a surprise drop of PTR Sunwell the same day that this private server for Wrath launched.
Yep.
And there's a new private server coming up in about 2.5 weeks. Another new one. And if anyone from Blizzard's watching, I definitely don't play on private servers, but there's a good chance that they might like sneak drop, Wrath beta same day that their launch happens again. Like, I don't know.
It was uncanny because I remember going, I won't name any streamers' names, but I went to multiple streamers that day that the PTR just ninja dropped. Like, I remember people coming into my chat. I think it was Mega Man came in, is like, PTR's up. I was like, for Sunwell, I was like, yeah, right, dude, stop trolling me. And then I go to, of course, Wowhead two minutes ago. That's like, oh, it is out. I went to multiple streams. They're like, dude, I've planned to play this Wrath private server with all my buddies the whole weekend. I'm not doing Sunwell PTR, and I was just like, dang it. I finally found Stay Safe, and Stay Safe was like, all right, we're gonna do a chat raid. And I was like, sign me up. That was the worst idea I ever did. I've told the story on the podcast when it happened, but yeah, Stay Safe was hilarious. It was a whole fun meme, but we died just on the trash like 45 times. I mean, it was absurd. And Stay Safe was like, we got this. All right. We just got to do this now. All right, everybody cast. And like, oh, it was so horrible. It was so horrible.
I told Bob, I was like, I don't know what you expected from like a Stay Safe like chat PTR. Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you went in. You should have.
It was definitely worth it. Like it was fun for the meme. It wasn't like it was costing me anything. But I did have to leave because it came out on a Friday, and I was doing the podcast, that night. So I did have to leave after a couple hours. But it was definitely a shit show.
I'm pretty sure I remember Bob looking at me going, I think I'm gonna ninja log, Mel.
Well, yeah, because because I know Stay Safe, and my name wasn't Blazzinbob. It was Blazzinbobert, but like he's calling
great disguise.
So in disguise.
But then as soon like he's calling people out, he's like, we had a rogue left, we had so and so left, and then it was like Blazin Robert. He misread. He thought it was Robert instead of Bobbert. But he just like called me out by name. I was like, crap. And it was like his anniversary, but I jumped in, gave him a sub, and said sorry. He was like, nah, I was just kidding with you, but it was pretty funny. But yeah, so Ale, what do you think about like the possible release of the beta super soon?
Not super soon. I think 2 to 3 months sounds about plausible. 2 to 3 weeks. I think no, it's crazy. No way.
But could
Gotta
they
be Scotty J for that?
in 2 to 3 weeks? Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they did have stuff on the CDN, right? So there is like a loading screen and things. That hints that there's something getting ready, but I think it's a ways out yet still. I hope it is. I'm not ready.
Yeah, I do too. I want to enjoy Sunwell. I want to kind of experience it. And I've never done Sunwell before, so I didn't do it. We only PvP'd in TBC last time we played, and so I'm excited. I want to experience it, and I think somebody asked, Corny B asked if Wrath Classic would have any substantial effect on Wrath private servers, and I think that Wrath Classic beta would have an effect on TBC Classic players. Right? I do think that their mindset would change once the beta comes out. And I think that their effort level and their, desire to progress through content would definitely change. Now, if it has an impact on private servers, I don't know that.
Well, and I think you're actually spot on if people are educated about how much gear changes in Wrath. See, in like there was a whole ton of people that had like this preconceived notion from retail. When they came back to Classic, they thought that doing Nex wouldn't help them at all going into TBEC. And that was like, they thought they would be replacing their gear in Hellfire Peninsula. And that was completely false. And we talked about it on the show, months prior to release, because we researched it because we didn't quite remember either. But the next gear, lots of it was, for certain classes was, comparable for even Kara gear. Like you could just pass on stuff because it was side grades. So it does have me worried because once Wrath is like set in stone, people might just be like, I mean, you're gonna only have the people that really want to see Sunwell playing it because they're gonna be like, it's a lot of work and a lot of wipes for my dad guild. Maybe we'll just wait till Wrath. We'll have next then, which is easy as pie. Like I don't know. What do you guys think? You think it'll drop off significantly once we actually know the date Wrath's coming?
Yeah, I think it depends on the day, really. If it's a long ways away, there'd be a big drop off. Will it cause people to do less Sunwell? Like maybe. If guilds have already cleared it, I think people might be less likely to farm it. The guilds who haven't might work harder to do it, right, if they want to make sure it gets done. But I think it all really depends on the date.
And it could also just end up being a number of players wash in a lot of ways. If you think about the hype for Wrath bringing back old players who want to start early, not just start like the day of pre-patch, who want to like get back in there, and along with other players that you might just like straight up lose because, yeah, I mean, Sunwell is the end of the expansion. Like, you've beaten the game once you clear it. And at that point, like, if Wrath is coming up and they don't have any interest, they might be out of there pretty soon. Sure.
Well, and see, for me specifically, what I think about is I've got a good chunk of cash, like saved up. And like I talk about my rogue and how I wanted to do like a lot with him in PvP here in season 4. Do I really want to like spend that cash in a GDKP? Because my rogue's not in a guild. So do I really want to spend that cash on a GDKP just to do season 4 when like we're coming into Nax and like that there's the 8K ring that's also a 30-minute hearth to Dalaran. There's the mount. It's like 18K that has vendors. Like there's the Choppa from, engineering, and I have 2 engineers. Like, do I really want to spend this cash now? And then you think about Sunwell progression. And if your guild's not doing good, do you really want to spend 50 destruction or haste pots every run, like every week? Like, do you really want to spend that kind of cash to, just have a chance to see the content, or do you just wait till it gets nerfed? Like, there's a whole lot of questions here that are kind of scary.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys are overthinking this a little bit, and I probably started this trend, but I feel like right now we're all excited to do Sunwell, right? Because it's new, it's the fresh content, and we want to do it. And I think that regardless, everybody knows that Wrath's coming out. So if they don't want to spend that money, they're already, whether it's 2 weeks or 2 months or 6 months, right? They're already in that mindset of like, okay, well, I'm not going to put a bunch of effort into this. The people that are doing it are the people that want to experience the content, right? Now, if you told me that Wrath was going to come out in 3 weeks, I might be like, okay, well, let's do what we can. Like, let's let's give it a shot, but I'm not going to go above and beyond to try to do this because there's not enough time to make the money back, right? And I don't know, I would like to enjoy and sit where we are as opposed to always looking to what is coming, right?
The grass is always greener on the other side of the road, Mel. I don't know if you just don't know this, but that's how it works.
I know.
It's going to be so much better in Wrath. It was going to be so much better in TBC.
I know, but
I'm trolling you.
Wrath, but I know you are. But I don't know. I feel like I would like to enjoy this content too, and I don't want them to rush it. That being said, I don't want you to slow the brakes down and make me do this content for 6 months, 12 months. Like, please don't.
Yeah.
Of course. And I think you like that's kind of like its own whole conversation, could probably be its own whole podcast about how fast like TBC has been going in general and all of Classic. But yeah, I'm kind of with you too. I would like for things to slow down a little bit. I mean, I went all of Black Temple Hyjal without getting full BIS, all of like SSC TK, like still missing one item. And like, that's so frustrating. And
dude, I'm missing the sword.
The new content to come. I'm like, yeah, it's ridiculous sometimes. It's maybe we can slow down, sure.
Yeah, well,
yeah, but not too much.
we've talked about it on the show. I truly believe that the plan for Classic was actually supposed to be faster, and COVID changed a lot of that. Like, I don't think we were supposed to be in BWL for over 6 months, but I don't know, but I don't think we were. But
Nobody
I wonder what
enjoyed
happened
it.
to in phase 1 though, because like phase 1 of TBC was so long. People said, I think I saw a post that phase 1 of TBC was the same length as 2 and 3 combined.
yeah, but
Right?
we
So
but we knew 2 and 3 was going to be like that because they said that there wasn't going to be a new, or at least we guessed it was going to be kind of like that because there wasn't a new arena season, right?
Correct, but why would you make phase 1, which was just Kara, right? Kara, and then don't make me say names. Come on, the dragon person.
Gruul,
Gruul and
Thank you.
Magtheridon.
the dragon killer,
Yeah.
dragon
Well,
person.
Magtheridon was a dragon, right?
No, he's a
No.
demon.
No.
Okay. Yeah, you know,
Yip would be
that
losing his
dragonish
shit right now.
looking thing. Yeah, I know.
Dragon
But
that stood on 4, I don't know.
don't worry about it. But like those 3 things were so less challenging than anything we've seen since, right? And so to make that phase so long, I feel like that's where people were like, oh my God. And then they're like, hey, let's speed it up, right? And maybe they thought this at the beginning. I don't know. But somebody needs to get in there and be like, listen, guys, this content's harder. So you should probably spend an extra month on this content and 2 less months on this content, right? Like, I mean, you just have to look at like, people don't want to grind and grind and grind and grind and grind, right? But they also don't want to feel like they missed out, because when you go from phase 2 to phase 3, nobody's really going back to phase 2, like maybe a little bit, but not really like wanting to. And same thing, I think, when you go to phase 3 to phase 4, right? Like you might go back and do TK.
No.
know,
Phase 3 to phase
or
4 was just Zol
Hyjal.
Amand. No, phase 4 was just Zol
Okay, phase
Amand.
3 to phase 5. Yeah, okay, so phase 4 doesn't count. Zolomon, yeah, whatever. But I don't know. I feel like you should do it. But I feel like they spent way too much time in phase 1, and that should be the conversation, not that they went way too fast in phase 2, 3, and 4, and 5, or whatever.
Yeah, phase 1 should have been faster. Hopefully phase 1 of Wrath is faster too, but we'll see. We'll see.
Come on, man. You don't like doing Nax Ramus again?
Where's
Actually,
Naxxramas?
I do. I am kind of excited about doing both 10 and 25 bands in Nax, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to go back and pump and do it differently. Like,
Can we talk about that though for just a real hot second? I know this is not on our thing, but Nax came back because the majority of people did not do Nax. Right? Like they re-released Nax because they were like, we spent a lot of freaking money building this whole dungeon and nobody did it because it was too hard, right? Like, let's re-release it. We've already got it. People will get to see it. It'll be great, right? But now, so many people have done that content that are going through Classic that I just wonder how exciting this is actually going to be versus how annoying it's going to be that some of the things are very different in the Nax 10 and 25 man, that you're going to be like, God damn it, I just did this, a year or so ago, and now it's different.
But that's what we dealt with when we were doing Nax in Classic, is everybody's like, well, I think it works like this, but they're thinking of the 25 man version and not the actual Nax version. That was a big problem for us throughout Nax.
I just want to get your guys' thoughts on how you feel like people are going to respond to it, because we just did it so recently.
I don't think they're going to be taking it well. I mean, they will obviously, like, people are going to be excited, of course, like the new content and fresh, but yeah,
Gear, glorious
the allure
gear
is not there. And I don't think it'll have like any drastic effect on player satisfaction. I think it's going to be just like it was in phase 1 of TBC, like, okay, this is boring, let's go next. And Blizzard has shown that like they'll probably speed it up. But I will say this, keep in mind, and this is kind of like my own like favorite motto I've been saying lately, is the most forgotten about raid in Wrath is Onyxia's Lair. There's another raid that they re-release in Wrath, and it's
Really?
Oni, and it's like, yeah, we'll do Onyxia's lair again in
Do I
T9.
need my Oni scale cloak? Do I need to go figure out where I put that?
I've
'Cause
still got it in the
probably
bank.
still in my bank because I'm a little bit of a hoarder, but
Oh, they re-released Oni? When is that? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Wasn't that in Cataclysm?
no,
No,
man,
it's in Wrath.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's after TOC. It's like during the catch-up raid time that like your ZA and your ZG came out type of time.
Right.
I think.
okay. What's
Right.
different about Oni though? Because Oni was already 25, man, wasn't it?
No, we just did it with 25 people.
Okay. See, you guys don't make me remember things.
Yeah, we usually would split Ani 2020 just because it was pretty easy once we got like when we had gear in vanilla.
Did they make changes to Oni though? Like, is Oni very different?
See, I don't remember.
I did not play Onyxia in like Classic at all. I never did it, so I don't want to speak too off. But it's my understanding that the fight is slightly different, but basically identical. Only like a random thing with like an ad spawning that I don't think was normally spawning on the original fight.
Interesting. Kind of cool. I like Googled this because you're totally right with that, by the way. The most forgotten about raid. And they actually
Feels
originally
like, I don't know if I believe you.
well, I mean, I think my
fair.
memory is pretty good when it comes to WoW things. So, yeah, I Googled it. The reason they re-released it was for the 5-year anniversary of WoW.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
And I think she drops a mount too. I think she drops a mount there.
Wow.
I don't know if it's rare. I think it might be
Could I
rare.
fly on Onyxia? Because that would be sweet.
yeah. The mount looks like Onyxia.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
I
does
didn't know that
dig
either.
you? Like,
No.
see me flying through the air, like coming for. No, that's what I want. That's what I want.
You just land on
funny.
Dalaran.